With preseason and training camp now officially in the books, I want to talk briefly about some players that have stood out and their stock is rising, and a couple of players whose stock is falling as we head into the regular season. First up, let's talk about the risers. Theo Benedict is the first guy I have to mention. He's a guy that coming into training camp was a long shot to make the team, and now he's gotten first team reps at both left and right tackle. And now he's getting reps with the starters at left tackle, and he's right behind Braxton Jones, while also getting a ton of work as the second team right tackle as well. Theo Benedict looks like a guy who was a lock to be on this roster and could even end up starting. Next up is Olamide Zaccheaus, who's not only making this roster, but looks like a guy who will be a big part of this offense in 2025. He was consistently getting space and getting wide open while building chemistry with Caleb Williams throughout all of training camp, and it would continue on into the preseason. I also think you have to mention Luke Newman on this list. He's a guy who was a six-round pick. I believe he's made the roster and showed a lot of potential. Same with seventh round pick rookie Kyle Monungai. Both of these guys were day three picks who should be fighting for roster spots, but they seem to have locked up their spots on the 53, and we might have found a couple late round gems. But a guy who really didn't need to have a great camp for me to be excited about him has been Luther Burden. He's been better than advertised and looks like a top 15 pick. He's a first round talent and a guy I labeled the steal of the draft. I'm excited to see what Luther can do in Chicago. I also have to mention Tyson Bagent, who's locked in as quarterback too, but his arrow is pointing up and he continues looking better and better. Let's remember Tyson has played for Luke Getsy, Shane Waldron, and now Ben Johnson. On defense, I think a lot of guys stood out. Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon were probably two of the biggest standouts of camp, but also Austin Booker and Dominique Robinson. And then you also have to bring up guys like Noah Sewell, Javon Dexter, and even Kevin Byard. But if you're looking at the preseason, it was easily Austin Booker as the guy who's the biggest breakout. Hopefully, he's healthy and ready to go for this year. He is dealing with an injury right now. But now I want to talk about a couple guys whose stock is down after the preseason. The first one up is Karan Amagaji. He finally got his first reps in preseason action, and while he didn't look bad, he's a guy who was a third round pick last year, and he was supposed to be competing for the starting left tackle job. He's now fourth in that battle, and he's simply not impressed me yet. I expected more from Karan. Let's hope he can bounce back before he ends up being another third round bust. Another guy who really never stood out to me was Tano Passanio, the defensive end. Maybe I missed it, but I just never seen anything special from this guy. He has a chance to make the roster, but I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting cut. But then it's Zay Frazier, who's the biggest disappointment at camp to me. A talented rookie who could have taken advantage of this opportunity and gotten some first team reps, especially with all the injuries. He missed all of camp, and now we have to question if he'll even make the roster. But Zay Frazier is definitely a faller. And then another guy who's a potential faller here is Nashawn Wright. While he was an early camp riser, the last week or two have not been so kind. He looked good all training camp long, and he was battling Tyreek Stevenson for a starting job, but he's got exposed a bit in preseason, and teams seem like they're not afraid to target him. He not only got beat multiple times in coverage, but he also had a couple of bad penalties, including two penalties for 30 yards on one play. Nashawn Wright may have played his way out of a starting job with that performance. My money would be on Tyreek Stevenson starting week one. But throughout camp, a lot more Bears have impressed me this year than there were that disappointed me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts were in the comments section below. As always, I appreciate everyone who watches. Please remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.